What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you another World of Tanks gameplay commentary, this time in my M103. One of my favorite tanks, probably one of the most fun to play. It is a great tier 9, especially if you know how to play it. Now, this is encounter battle on Siegfried line. Teams are very even, at least from my perception. And yeah, here we go. Tiger saying, whenever I see a World of Tank, I find myself saying, what does the Wheel of Time have to do with this game? Oh, haha, that was random. Cool story, bro. Rah, rah, rah. In-game chat. Oh, minimap increase size. There we go. So the enemy team sending pretty much everything they've got to the city, all their heavy tanks and pretty much everything else right here. This Type 59 seeming to be the only thing they really sent to the field, so I'm gonna just try to make his day a little more miserable here, and I do nothing but track him. But you know what that track does? That track stops him and lets everyone on my team shoot at him, and right here he's trying to back up, gets tracked again, and he will get almost eliminated. And there he goes. So that track, probably one of the worst things that could have ever happened to him. And you know, he really, I think that probably was a poor decision on his part to actually try to come through that area and go into the town. I think he realized he was all alone and tried to divert to the city to go with the rest of his team, but realized a little too late that it was a horrible idea. Now right here I'm kind of helping out this 4502 Alpha, and on this corner here enemy artillery has a chance to hit me, but tier 5 artillery as a tier 9 heavy tank does not scare me all too much. It still packs a somewhat of a punch, but it's not tier 6 arty by any means. And right here I'm just gonna get a little aggressive and push up, take a nice shot on this 4502 Alpha right here, take off a good nice chunk of his health, and this IS-3 moving up to engage our 4502 Alpha, kind of making the same mistake that one did by pulling out and getting himself shot up. So I guess karma comes back to bite our team for the stupidity of their team. Stupidity all around, I suppose. That 4502 Alpha really not having any situational awareness there, but in my experience, it is generally a bad idea to drive across that open area. 4502 bouncing a shell off me because, let's face it, the M103 is quite a well-armored tier 9. It is very different than the T-34 before it, where that thing only had turret armor and nothing else really. So this IS-3 pulling forward a bit, and I'm trying to get a shot on him, but I don't really have anything right there. He has a shot on me, but again, just bouncing those shells. They're doing nothing but scratching the paint. And there we go again. Sorry, I breathed in wrong on that laugh, and it kind of hurt. Anyway, enemy team, really significant force in the town here. And right here, I'm trying to blow up those boxes, but I realize those are non-destructible, at least to my shells. And really, losses for both teams, pretty even at this point. Both teams have lost a tier 8, and the enemy team seems to be pretty hurt. I've yet to do anything but take scratches to my paint, so not really a point of concern for me at this point in the match. Those 4502s are really tempting targets at this point. I really want to push up and eliminate them, especially because I know they will have a very tough time getting through my armor. The 4502 is limited to a maximum, I believe, of 203 penetration, but the gun they are most likely using is a gun that only has 200 penetration. Now, I'm using the destroyed husk of this vehicle to actually shield my underbelly a bit. But right here I decided to push forward, kind of play with someone my own size, you know, pick on someone that can actually give me a decent fight and shoot him right in his underbelly, knowing exactly the weaknesses of my tank. And we both start backing up a little, and I'm going to shoot for his underbelly again, get a good shot on him. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, I did intentionally back up in front of that car, and as you can tell, it was a very wise move. He's trying to angle his armor, but it will do him no good. And right here, our team currently in a losing position. This patent drawing my attention, you know, kind of getting the unwanted attention of an M103, but this 4502 is a more pressing concern. I am not going to expose my rear armor to a tier 9 heavy tank, especially one with such a damaging gun as the 4502P. So right here, I'm trying to use the statue as cover best I can. Pop out, only expose my frontal armor at an angle, and as you can see, very effective. That statue is actually shielding my side armor, which I wouldn't even say my sides have armor. They are just sides that take shots. This 4502, I know I can get through him with pretty decent ease, especially with this gun. Taking a shot at me, I juked his shell a bit, and right here, taking a shot at him, but doing nothing but a bounce because of that was such an extreme angle. My team's still losing by 2 tanks, but not really a concern for me at this point, considering I am at full health. This Tiger wanting to tango, and I show him just, you know, how he should really not play with the big boys, especially considering he is the Tigger, not really a heavy-hitting tank, especially considering I'm an M103, and I will totally take him to school any day in speed, firepower, penetration, you name it, I have it over him. And there we go, leaving him with 28 health left, and he is completely running for his life at this point, where I have done nothing but bounce shells and scratch my paint, and I am completely fine with that. I'll pay the repair cost. I'll pay the painters to, you know, give my tank a fresh coat of paint, but I do not like it when tanks punch holes in my armor. That costs money. And there you see, I made that M26 pay for it. He thought he had the advantage on me. He thought he could flank me, but he learned very quickly how quickly I can switch targets. So he got himself killed in a very efficient manner. You know, I didn't even have to go to him. He came right to me. So thank you ever so much for making my job just a little bit easier. The enemy team is on the capture point, and that is definitely a cause for concern, but I need to eliminate this 4502, or at least so I'm thinking. But I realize I'm not going to go chasing after him. I cannot afford to be chasing after him, but he so kindly obliges and stops. Now the 4502P right here is the one tank that has me concerned. But as you will see very shortly, I'm going to do a short tango with him. I'm going to have a little battle go on with him here in a second, and then he's going to actually, you know, kind of just knock off my track a bit, which at this moment in the game, the only reason we have not lost is because of that nice little scout tank, that light tank, that 1390, winning it for us right here. You know, interrupting their capture in this 4502, not wanting to play with me anymore. And I say, that's fine, I'll go play with your friends on the capture point. You know, that 1390 killing himself, but being our hero, doing it. He definitely did his part and more for our team. This M26, trying to take a shot at him just without zooming in at all, because I find that is the more effective strategy. But again, just knocking off my track, I'm not taking any damage, and I will shoot him right here, or at least attempt to, but that that AC meal gets in the way. And here, I'm just exposing my frontal armor again. You know, he's trying to shoot my underplate, but his penetration isn't even enough to get through that at the extreme angle I was presenting it to him. Now, I'm using this dead French tank destroyer's husk like the M26 was previously to shield me from this 4502 Alpha. Papa. I'm sorry, completely different tanks. And here, they've broken my turret, and I don't know if they realize that at this moment in the game, but, you know, he's kind of making his move, and I'm going to turn my tank to him, and broken turn and everything, I still hit him. And as you can tell, I've been hitting quite effectively in that underplate. He's going to try and shoot me here again. I'm still having to manually turn my tank to shoot him, and I was able to eliminate him quite effectively by doing that. This T-29 coming in for a bit of a close brawl. Again, I'm bouncing shells left and right. Artillery saving me there. Well, I wouldn't really call it saving me, due to the fact that he really should have been paying attention to himself. That enemy artillery sneaking up on him and killing him, basically because he just fired a shell and he was reloading. He should have been more concerned about himself than taking a kill that I could have easily eliminated. That T-29 had zero chance of killing me. There was no way on this God's green earth that he could have killed me. My armor is too thick, and that GW Panther should have been paying a little more attention, had a little better situational awareness of that M41 rolling up on him. Now, I know exactly where that M41 is. I have a general idea of where he is going. And so I will basically set up an ambush point right here on this hill and set myself up for a nice, easy kill. And there he is. You know, he's trying to run and draw this match out. And I could have sat under the capture point and gone for Invader, but I like the ring of Top Gun so much more now. As you can tell, I fired a decent number of shots that round. left with only 2 AP shells left. And damaging, I almost got myself a Confederate and a Top Gun in the same match. I have yet to do it, but this is, you know, I get these games every now and again where I get close. So killing 6, damaging 5, firing 28 shots, 22 hitting, and taking 14 hits, still having over 50% health. So basically, they more or less scratched my paint and punched a few little holes, but nothing serious. Sniper going to that T28 on our team, Scout going to that 1390 on our team, the little hero that saved us from a loss by capture, and Top Gun and Steel Wall going both to me. So I think a rather interesting game, a rather exciting game, a game we could have easily lost if not for that 1390. So props to that guy. Certainly did his part and more. I certainly did my part and more by eliminating, you know, a good chunk of the enemy team. And I think the last people on our team, myself and that 1390, and the GW Panther, he did his part. He got 1 kill, that T29. That really was my kill. But, you know, I could gripe and moan and all that fun stuff. Anyway, but I won't anymore. Anyway, 13, I got 3 times XP, so 7,281 experience. For those of you not too good at math, that's over 2,000 experience, standard. So 92,000 credits. Repairs, kind of costly, but not really when you look at what I made. So all in all, a great match, a very close match that we could have lost, but anyway, I've said that enough. If you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe, and as always, if you got a replay, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Email in the description. And this is Spang, signing off.